always, baby. How about them Raiders? Every day, all day.
I ain't worried about y'all.
Yeah, you are. You don't want to focus on our issues, our solutions, using our voices on Black Focus Radio.
Welcome to Black Focus, the show designed with our community in mind, where we focus on our issues, developing our solutions, using our voices. Central Arkansas, surrounding areas, and the nation. Get ready. Black Focus starts right now. Phone lines open at 855-525-5683. So here's your host, David W. Coleman and Robert Webb.
Hey y'all.
What up, what up, what up?
How y'all doing? I'm putting on my southern charm today. It's Monday. We in the South. The South.
We've been south.
And it's gonna be like 229 degrees today on September 9th. Woohoo! Yeah, I just love me some South.
That what up, that what up.
Global warming? What y'all talking about? It's always like this in the South.
What you talking about? What you talking about, Willis?
Welcome to the show. It's called Black Focus Radio. Our issues, our solutions, our voices. 855-525-5683 is the number. That's how you get in touch with us, man. We got so much to talk about today. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Long weekend, although it was a normal weekend, but it was a lot of crazy stuff that went on. Of course, the NFL got in full effect. I did watch Dave Chappelle over the weekend.
He came hard, didn't he? Did he come hard?
Woo, boy, y'all some soft panties folks out there, man. Y'all got your panties all in the wad. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. You know, last week I found out that Eddie Murphy was about to do it. He was coming back to stand up. And if I just go back to just Eddie Murphy wouldn't survive today. Because Eddie Murphy was raw. Okay? In fact, wasn't one of his stand-ups called Raw? Yeah. I believe it was, right? So but then I even go back to Richard Pryor, you know, with is it something I said, or, you know, that so-and-so's crazy. You know, it's Richard Pryor. Look, I'm just saying, folks, y'all need to calm down, okay? Just calm down, all right?
Take a breath.
Well, y'all do that. We'll talk a little bit about it, because I thought it was pretty funny. And then there were some parts, that's not really funny, Dave. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's not very funny. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into Black Facts. Oh, by the way, where are my manners? I mean, that voice you heard was, those melodious, dulcet tones, was Robert Webb. So I didn't say hi to Robert. Hey, Robert, how you doing?
What's up, brother?
How was your weekend?
It was the weekend, baby.
Did you do anything, like, exciting?
I slept.
You did?
Got my sleep on.
Okay.
That's all I did.
Okay. Oh, today I want to make sure I talk about the boy that got a lawnmower from the Carolina Panthers.
The what?
I will get into that in a moment. Today's Black Facts: $1.7 million for Slavery Reparations Fund puts Virginia Theological Seminary at the forefront of the debate. What?
Cool.
Let me read that again. Did I read what I thought I just said?
Did you say that?
$1.7 million for Slavery Reparations Fund puts Virginia Theological Seminary at the forefront of the debate. Hello?
Okay.
Virginia Theological Seminary took what appears to be an unprecedented step by this week. I think I'm feeling a calling, Robert.
Lord Jesus. Oh, Father. Sweet Jesus.
Oh, they took an unprecedented step. Let me start. Okay, I'm supposed to be reading. I'm serious. I'm serious.
You're supposed to be serious.
Black facts are serious. I couldn't help it.
You got issues. It's gonna be a long 2 hours a day. I already see it.
Okay, I'm good. Let me start over. Virginia Theological Seminary took what appears to be an unprecedented step this week by announcing that it had set aside $1.7 million for a slavery reparations fund, something considered but not yet enacted by other institutions of higher learning who historically benefited from slave labor. Enslaved African Americans worked on the Alexandria campus of Virginia Theological Seminary, which was founded in 1823, and at least one building, Aspinwall Hall, in 1841, was built with slave labor. At least one building?
At least.
It's 1823, dog. Come on now. I was born at night, but not last night.
Last night.
Okay?
You sure it wasn't last night?
I'm quite sure. Black students were excluded from extending Episcopal Seminary up until the 1950s. As we seek to mark the seminary's milestone of 200 years, we do so conscious of our past is a mixture of sin as well as grace, said Dean Ian Markham in a press release. This is the seminary recognizing that along with repentance of past sins, there is also a need for action. How do you think I'd look at a spot?
You got issues. You got some serious issues, brother.
I'm just income from the endowment fund for reparations will be put to use in various ways, from encouraging more African American clergy in the Episcopal Church to directly serving the needs of any descendants of enslaved Africans who worked at the seminary. Okay, let's see, where's Cousin Edna from? Cousin Edna, aren't you from Virginia? Yeah, you from Virginia, Cousin Edna. The seminary's announcement comes amid a growing national conversation over reparations as one way to atone for American systems of slavery and segregation rooted in colonial era and still showing lingering effects on society today. While Democratic presidential candidates have been asked for their views on the subject this year, Episcopal Church leaders have taken a lead in speaking in favor of reparations. Mostly recently, Maryland Bishop Eugene Sutton. Everyone living in our great nation has inherited a mess created by the institution of slavery. None of us created this brokenness, but all of us have the moral responsibility to fix it. I'm feeling a calling. I'm feeling it. All right, so that's our black fact for today. And if you'd like to sponsor Dynamic Black Facts, call me up at 615-554-0568 and I'll hook you up. And don't forget as well, our next home game for Little Rock Central is September 27th. You can be a sponsor. We are also going to have a patrons list that was recommended by a young lady who doesn't have a business but would like to contribute. So we'll start setting that up in the next couple of days, so you'll be able to donate to the event. Okay, so make sure you all check that out as well. By the way, Little Rock Central is now 2-0, 62 the zip over Rogers Heritage. Rogers Heritage didn't cross the 50-yard line, if I remember, until like the second half, like the fourth quarter. In fact, it got so bad they launched the mercy rule on them. I didn't even know they had mercy rule in high school. But you know what it is? They just let the clock keep running. It never stops. It just runs. So that that fourth period it was 12 minutes.
So
Exactly.
It went pretty fast.
It was no timeouts. In fact, we were trying to run block, and it was before I realized it was the mercy rule. We were running breaks, and they was just still running plays, you know. But a good win by Little Rock Central. No ifs, ands, buts about that. So if you want to sponsor the broadcast, just let us know. So we've got a lot of stuff to talk about today. I thought that piece on the Episcopal Church in Virginia is very interesting. And you're going to see more and more of this. And we'll be fascinated as we move forward about, because this thing with reparations is not going away. Okay? Some of you all might think it is, but it's not going away. And the more and more people talk about it, the more and more people set aside funds for it, it's going to be, it will be dealt with a lot over the next few weeks. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. 855-525-5683 is the number. That's how you get in touch with us. I also published over the weekend some pieces as it relates to the Waltons and the school board. And you all need to go out and read those pieces, okay? Do yourself a favor, go out and read them, because it really gives you a clarification on what's going on as it relates to the school board and what the Waltons are actually trying to do, okay? So do yourself a favor and do that. I will here in just a moment, Tanya. I see him. I don't know who he is, but we're gonna shut him down here in just a moment. We got some nut on here that's posting stupid stuff. He's probably, see, the sad thing about it is I saw him early on, and I went out to his page to show you that he has no courage. He doesn't have a picture on his page, okay? And it looks like, I don't even know how this guy, he's saying he's from Kabul, Africa, but we'll block him in just a moment, okay?
What are you posting, man?
Just memes and not memes, but emojis and crap like that.
Is that one of your homies?
I don't know who the hell he is, you know. So, but it says he's from Kabul, Afghanistan, which I don't know. He might be trying to hack my page. Who knows? All right, so that should take care of it. All right.
You can get rid of them, though.
I don't play, man. You know, I'm just saying. I mean, I don't mind you having an opinion, and I don't expect you to agree with everything I say, but at least come on my page with some lucid thought, okay? That's all I'm saying. Let's
You bougie on Facebook, too.
you know.
Dang. Dang, Dave. You bougie on the book, too.
What? I'm just saying.
I see why I'll never get no reply on your page.
Just
go
go.
talking to these Bonics on your page.
Hey.
You just ain't giving the brother no reply.
I
I got you, dude. I got you.
I'm sorry, man. Next time you send me something, I'll reply.
I dig it, my brother. I see why I get no
Maybe.
reply. She's like, maybe.
No, I mean, I'll be honest. When I'm on Facebook, I post stuff to elicit thought. I don't really go back and forth with people. I used to, but I don't care to.
Beneath you now.
Yeah. I'm just saying, dude.
I just don't have time.
I don't have time for that mess, man. I mean, come on. I mean, if you want to have an intellectual conversation, let's have one. But just trying to. If you think you're gonna post an emoji and make me come at you, come on, dude. I'm bigger than that. Plus, I've been in the talk show business for 35 years. I'm used to people coming at me. I give you a forum where you can call me up. Whoever Dante HG is, call me up at 855-525-5683. Here's an open forum for you
Don't do that. You're going to get your head locked
to
up. Set you up for
to come on to my show
Do not call
and
me.
let's
He's gonna lock your
let's
head.
debate.
He's gonna
Okay,
lock you. You're
I'm
gonna
just
get locked.
hey, I'm just saying I don't want it to be said that that I'm trying to censor anybody.
You're going to get
You
locked.
know?
Dave's going to lock you.
Yeah, just like if you're gonna bring it, you better bring it, cause I'm gonna bring it. I'm just saying. that's how I do it. So anytime, anywhere you all want to come on my show, whether you're a white supremacist or whomever you may be, Dante HG, considering the fact that you don't even have the courage to even post your own name on there.
You welcoming white supremacists now?
Oh, I'm loving white supremacists. Lindsey Graham is welcoming white supremacists. I want to be like Lindsey. You know what I'm saying?
He's a straight G.
I'm just saying, you haven't seen that picture of Lindsey and the white supremacists?
I have not.
Okay, so I'm just going.
Photoshop?
No, this is no.
It's legit?
No, this is legit.
It's not Photoshop.
Now look at this. Look at this picture right here. Okay. Now, if you didn't know he was a white supremacist, you think they were buddies, right? Mm-hmm. They were pretty cool, right?
Yeah. Who's that guy?
Well, that guy is. His name is Gert Wilders. He's a prominent white supremacist. Okay.
Where
from?
Is he from South Carolina?
No. He's let's see. Where is he from? He's from the Netherlands. He is the leader. He is the leader of the Netherlands. Yeah. So I tell you, white supremacy is all over this world, dude. Y'all think I be playing? Y'all think I'm being mean by saying those things?
Is black folks in the Netherlands?
There are a few. Remember that was they have that. That's where King Leopold. Well, in that area. Well, he's from Belgium, really.
Okay, yeah.
But the Netherlands have that stupid Christmas celebration where they paint up and look like they all go into blackface and dress up like Santa Claus.
At least they admit to like black up there though.
Anyway, the Netherlands, Gert Wilders was kicking back like a fat rat old school style with Lindsey the Kook Graham.
So was he hollering at Trump or what? What was he doing in town? Was he hollering at Trump or Trump
Well, it was just, Lindsey was probably acting as Trump's liaison. So there you go right there, man.
Hey,
So
is it true that Mark Sanford's going to run against Trump for the Republican nomination?
I think it's great. Here's what the Republicans are doing.
Well, at least they can't trash it about his affairs. So
that's what I'm saying.
That's a go. That's a go.
That's what I'm saying. Boy, that was a trip.
In 2009, when I voted out to be with my girl in Argentina, they can't dog him about that now. Unless they're gonna go at Trump too. No. They can't dog him.
If I remember correctly, didn't they find information about that? I'm trying to remember how they stumbled upon something. Well,
in 2009, that's what gave it away. In 2009, when he left the football game and drove to the airport and bought a one-way ticket to Argentina. Yeah, but that's what gave it away because they said he was hiking for a month. In the mountain,
in the Smokies. That's what gave it away. In the Smokies,
people were like, I ain't see him up here. I ain't see no Secret Service, no helicopter.
Yeah, in the Smokies. So, but see, he said, well, Trump say, I'll raise you one mistress. No, Sanford say, I'll raise you one mistress. And Trump say, well, I'll raise you 17 and counting.
Yeah, Trump said, I got a gang though.
Boy, wouldn't that be just an interesting...
This is going to be a really interesting race. Because you know what? You can't talk... okay, so this is going to be the first race where it's going to be all about the issues. Because you can't throw mud. Because neither one of you can throw mud.
I'm trying to remember that meme I saw. I guess I didn't repost it. Where someone was holding up... you can't... You can't. What did it say? You can't call yourself a meteorologist just because you had an affair with Stormy.
Yeah. I saw that one.
Zing!
I saw that one. That was all right. But I'm really looking forward to this Republican campaign because it's going to be interesting. Mark Sanford is running against him. When you start talking about the lowest of the low. There's nothing you can say about Sanford that you can't say about Trump.
I just can't wait for the debate.
Honestly, I think that's the only thing that I can think of. Because a lot of people were a little disappointed with Sanford because they were talking like he was kind of middle of the road. He wasn't as far right as
he wasn't. I'll admit, back then I was following Sanford as well, and I was stunned.
Yeah, I was stunned he wasn't as far right as everybody thought he would be.
I was stunned.
Now, how that impacted black folk, I don't know. But he wasn't. I'm trying to think. Wasn't he the one. There was some legislation that came down that was really impactful in the black community. I'm trying to think of what it was. It was in. I know it had something to do with college tuitions, and I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember off the top of my head. No.
I can't remember for the life of me what it was.
Well, the interesting thing will be, the Republican Party, is whatever their election arm is, they are moving to try and keep them Trump from having a Republican challenges in primaries.
Yeah.
And I know in 4 states, for sure, the article that I read, I know Michigan, Ohio, Wisconsin, I believe there's another one where the Republican Party in those states have basically locked up the ballots, or at least the process, so no one can run against him, which I find that really peculiar. But these days, the Republican Party is peculiar within itself.
But I'm gonna tell you what's interesting now, right? So this guy was governor, and as governor, he was buck wild, right? Got a divorce while he was in office, the
Yep.
whole nine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he runs again in South Carolina, and he wins for the House of Representatives.
Yep.
I mean, come on, baby. South Carolina say, hey, listen, we love you, player. Do your thing. So if they loving him like that, I think that's going to be a good matchup between he and Trump. I think it's going to be a significant matchup. I believe he may be able to take him out.
I doubt it.
You don't think so?
I doubt it. They are going to they're going to do everything they can to make sure that no one really challenges Trump. The thing is, if you're gonna beat Donald Trump, here's what you've got to do. You got to beat him at his own game. You got to take the fight to him, because he's gonna be ready to fight. And if you're not ready to take the fight to him, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose.
I believe
You can't get up there talking. You can talk policy. You can talk policy with one hand and and punch him with the other one. Okay,
I
you
believe-
got to be willing to throw a punch.
I believe anybody can beat him. It's Mark Sanford. The reason I say that is, like I said before, I mean, it's like checkmate. You had a mistress, I got a mistress, right? You grabbed him, yeah, I grabbed some too. I mean, it's like they tit for tat, man. I mean, now Sanford is a little bit more diplomatic than Trump, a little bit more polished than Trump, but we'll see. I mean, honestly, I think if anybody could beat him, this is the guy.
I don't know. I'd
Now, if
like.
he can raise the money, that'd be a totally different ballgame.
Well, I'd like to see a challenge, but I don't think it's going to happen. I just really don't. I think.
And you know what? I'm trying to think back. I think this is the first time since, I want to say this is the first time that I can remember an incumbent having a challenger in his own party. I mean, man.
Well, let's see. Since there has not been an incumbent to lose re-election since, wasn't it Jimmy Carter?
Yeah. Well, no.
Gerald Ford.
No. George Bush.
Was he only one?
HW.
Oh, yeah.
He's the most recent.
Okay.
And before him, it was Jimmy Carter.
Yeah. Okay. So
Clinton took him out.
yeah. So we'll see what happens, but it'll be interesting. We're getting to that point now. It's September. Politics is about to get real dirty now, bro.
Yeah, it's about to crank up.
It's about to get real
I know,
dirty.
we had a bunch of people drop out, so the race is thinning out. So it's starting to thin out. Now it's going to get real.
So I'm looking forward to it. I think Biden over the weekend had some. He was in a speech and called Donald Trump Donald Hump. So I think it was. I'm trying to remember the poll. I don't remember those numbers, but I think it was Biden. He was like at 30. Then it was Kamala Harris. Oh no, it was. I thought I posted that. It was. I'm gonna look that up. It was who black women prefer. Let me look that up.
And who did black women prefer? They prefer
It was Biden.
Over Harris?
Harris was second,
At what percentage?
like 17. He was still double digits ahead of him. And then there was Elizabeth Warren, and then there was Bernie Sanders.
What was your boy Booker?
He was way down. He was in the single digits.
That makes sense.
He was in the single digits. I mean, he just wanted to love everybody.
Yeah, he likes rippers. At least that's the rumor they put on him.
Ain't nothing wrong with a stripper.
Strippers need love too.
That's what I'm saying. You just, hey, make that money. Don't make them. Let that money make you. Like,
I wouldn't mind marrying.
You know.
I'd like to, do exotic dancing.
So I'm just saying, man. It's them sisters. Hey, look at Cardi B. They don't went Broadway now. And you know what really started that?
What's that?
That movie, Pretty Woman.
You think so?
I think it started it. Remember that movie?
Yeah, she went to fairy tale. I want the fairy tale.
Right. I think that's what started.
I love that movie now, by the way. I did love the movie.
That was a good
I thought the
movie.
movie was really great.
I just thought, one of the stars was really hot. But I'm just saying.
Julia Roberts.
Yeah. Yeah, she was pretty hot back in the day.
You know they killed black people for talking about white girls.
Well, I mean, look, I can look at any woman that I want, okay? And say how beautiful she is.
Emmett Till Jr. Keep
Okay.
on, okay?
All right.
Keep on.
Well,
I wanna help, Dave.
but the
But
thing
if they get out
is,
the rope, I can't help you.
if they come for me, just remember, there's going to be evidence left. There's going to be two types of blood, mine and theirs.
Somebody
So
take somebody with you.
just check the DNA, buddy.
You're on the same page.
I'm just
Somebody
saying.
coming with me.
You
I ain't
know.
going with myself.
I ain't going. I still can't get over how they let them folks in that house.
They're
But
gonna have two funerals.
that's another story.
It's all good. They're gonna have two funerals.
That reminds me. Did you hear about this woman in Florida?
What happened?
Okay, let me just read this article to you. 'Cause authorities say a Florida woman is blaming a windy day for the cocaine that police found in her purse. WPLG reported Kinesia Posey was one of two passengers in a car stopped by Fort Pierce police in late March. Police say an officer smelled marijuana and that, after searching the car, cocaine and marijuana in separate bags were found inside of Posey's purse on her lap. Authorities say they questioned Posey about the drugs. According to the police report, Posey responded, "It's a windy day. It must have flown through the window into my purse."
Sorry.
I had to bring that up. I'm sorry. But I'm just really, sister.
You know what, man?
I
have to admit, depending on how high the wave is, hey, man, I've seen stranger things happen. I remember a cat down in North Carolina, South Carolina. Yeah, man. He had cocaine on his hood. The wind is crazy, man. The wind do things like that.
Yeah, don't remind
The
me.
wind do things like that, man.
Yeah,
So I'm just trying to figure it out. So she was driving at a high rate of speed. The marijuana flew off an old dude's car and flew back into his. Because he got arrested in March too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was somebody else with her. Yeah.
Maybe the cocaine flew out of her purse into her purse. Was it already in the bag?
Just leave it alone.
I'm just saying, man. It is highly possible.
No. Sorry.
Black folks will constantly be framed for cocaine.
But she had a 5-finger lid in her purse too. I had that happen.
5-finger lid?
Were the seeds just growing in the bottom of a purse and she didn't clean it
She
out?
didn't know it.
There you go.
She borrowed the purse from somebody
Yeah,
else.
there you go. Yeah. Here's a school of thought. That story stressed one thing.
What's that?
Okay, listen to this. Police say an officer smelled marijuana and that after searching the car, cocaine and marijuana in separate bags were found inside a purse Posey had on her lap. You get that?
Yeah.
So if the purse isn't on her lap and is in the back seat, she can argue that it's not mine.
Because it wasn't a car, right?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, get your friend locked up, so it's all good, right?
Well, both of them was going to jail anyway.
So
So
it didn't matter.
it didn't matter. But anyway, that's so much for my legal advice. Joyce Myers admits she's been preaching a false gospel. Sort of.
Sort of. I'm ready because every time I look up, you got some sister got Joyce Myers on their Facebook.
I know,
I'm
man.
ready for this one.
Man, sort of.
So what's she?
Okay,
what's she
all right,
false
okay.
into?
Let me see this because I can't believe this. Okay, all right, here's yours. Marathon. I'm glad for what I learned about prosperity. Okay, here we go. Joyce Myers, the baritone-throated false prophetess and word of faith patriots, hurls heresy from every angle in her bamboozling ministry and worldwide conference appearances. But in a recent video she posted on Instagram, she admits that her prosperity gospel teachings have been well out of balance. I'm glad for what I learned about prosperity, but it got out of balance. I'm glad for what I've learned about faith, but it got out of balance. Every time somebody had a problem in their life, I thought it's because you didn't have enough faith. If you got sick, it's because you didn't have enough faith. If your child died, it's because you didn't have enough faith. Or if your rent you got evicted, it's because you didn't have enough money. I added that. I'm sorry.
You didn't have enough faith.
Because you were giving it to her. Oh, God.
She's a prosperity. I love prosperity preachers. They're like, hey, you know what? If you want it, you got to give it to me so you can get it. Yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah. See,
break me off and you're going to be all right.
That's 2 stories today already about money. We had the Episcopalians setting aside $1.7 million. And now Joyce, man, I'm feeling a glow.
You are sick. You are sick. You're going to hell, man. You're going to hell right there. You are going straight to hell.
I didn't plan the show like this, okay? These stories are just popping up, okay? I was going to another story and that story popped up. I'm sorry.
So why she said she was a false prophet?
She's probably, you know what? If you have a conscience, which many of them don't, obviously, maybe she's developing one because she's been lying for decades, along with Creflo Steal My Dollars and the Swaggarts and the Bakers and all of the other prosperity preachers. Let's not forget that clown down there in Houston either. Joel Osteen. I'm Joel, and I just want you to give me all of your money. And people do.
God said, if you want to enter the kingdom, you got to break bread, player.
Well, it's interesting to watch how this thing is. Maybe people are beginning to wake up, at least. I'm hoping. But we'll see how it plays out.
Hey, you know what's ironic, right?
What's that?
On a Christian radio station, you talking about Christian. You know you can't do that, right?
I'm talking about false prophets.
Still talking about Christians.
see that?
You still talking about Christians, man. You can't do that. You can't do that with this drunk, man. You ain't gonna have no favor, player.
I'm sorry.
Favor will not be on you. G.
Yeah, okay.
Is that crazy?
Yeah.
Ain't gonna have no favor, player.
I'm sorry.
You gonna be favorless, dog.
Did you go to church yesterday?
Oh yeah, man. You know what? I attend Bad Side Baptist every Sunday.
There you go. That's your favor, right?
That's my favorite.
Okay.
My tithe, I did my tithe and offerings and everything, man.
So check this story out, man. And this story has been getting a lot of play, and this happened almost 2 weeks ago, and I saw this. An NFL team has come under fire over the weekend after it gave an African-American child a lawnmower to help him save for college. That's the first graph of that story.
Do what now?
An NFL team gave an African-American child a lawnmower to help him save for college.
Okay.
You ready for more?
Yeah.
Okay. In a video post to Twitter over the weekend, the Carolina Panthers explained that 12-year-old Jalen Clyburn is spending his summers mowing lawns to save for college. We needed his expertise, so we brought him to Charlotte, the video says, while Clyburn is seen pushing his lawnmower outside the team's football stadium. A team official tells Clyburn that Lowe's has donated a new lawnmower on behalf of the Panthers. Before the video ends, the 12-year-old is made an official member of the team's ground crew. There's more to the story, but I'm curious. What are you feeling about what I just read?
I'm reserving comment. Please continue.
Okay. Now, here's what many people, when I first saw the story, and actually I had planned to bring it up last week on the show, but between Robin and Cliff, I couldn't get anything in edgewise. Here's what some of the people of Twitter are saying. Okay? You think one of these huge corporations would have just given him a college scholarship so this kid could continue being a kid. LOL, just pay for his college, cheap ass corporations. Instead of really helping this young brother with a scholarship or a bond, you do the minimum and then tweet it out so the world will see how wonderful you are. Do not congratulate them. Shame on them. Imagine having so much, yet giving this child so little. How about a scholarship so he can focus on being a kid and studying? Corporate propaganda at its finest. Turn a nightmare story about a kid being forced to work instead of focusing on school and doing kid stuff into a feel-good story how corporations are really nice. Don't you know? He wouldn't need to do this if there was an equitable society.
Okay.
So these go on and on and on. Your thoughts, Mr. Robert Well.
Maybe. I mean, did the kid want a lawnmower? Did he want a lawnmower? So maybe he requested a lawnmower. Maybe that was his request. Maybe he said, you know what? How old was he?
12.
I can see that. Kid says, hey, I want a lawnmower so I can play yards and save money for college. I can see that.
The kid already had a lawnmower. He just happened to be posting a video where that's what he was doing. He was cutting yards to save for college.
So they gave him a new lawnmower.
Then the Panthers gave him a new lawnmower.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Because the story is now, you give him a lawnmower now, then later when he's like 17 and getting ready to graduate, you come back and say, we're going to match whatever you save, plus we're going to throw in some extra. So yeah, that makes sense.
That's not what they said.
They probably didn't say it now, why would they? Because that's the whole point of being able to come back later and go, aha. Right?
No, you say
Big aha moment.
You say it now to create incentive for this young brother. And more importantly, as many said, look, why don't you got plenty of money. Why don't you give a boy a scholarship if you admire him so much? But what you did was you took this boy and tried to make it as though you some super ass corporation, when in fact you weren't doing nothing but exploiting him. If you really wanted to make us feel good, Carolina Panthers, NFL, then you would have said, hey, that's wonderful, but I tell you what, we would rather for this young man to be in school and study. So we're going to make sure that this young man at least can go to college and become the entrepreneur that he already has. That's what they should have done.
Dave,
Don't Dave me, sir.
Dave.
You don't give a kid a lawn. How much is a lawnmower? $140? And here's the other thing. They got it from Lowe's, right? So do you think they paid for it? Let me ask you, do you think the Carolina Panthers, when they went to Lowe's and said, hey, Lowe's dog, look, I need a mower. Can you hook a black man up? No, can you hook a white corporation up? Do you think they did that? And what do you think the other white corporation said?
They very well could have, Dave.
Okay, yes, sir, boss.
They very well could have, Dave.
And you know what? If you give us a $149.95 lawnmower, we gonna plug your company.
They very well could have.
And this will be PR for all of us.
They very well could have, my friend. You just don't know.
All right. I got this great new bridge around the corner. I need to sell to
that
you.
That look on your face is priceless. I wish everybody could see that look on your face.
I mean, come on, man.
Look of disgust.
I mean, that's what it is. It's disgust.
Well, I mean, I like to think it's for something bigger. I like to think they're going to come back later and tell a kid, how much money have you saved so far? You've been cutting grass for 5 years. How much money have you saved? And then he says, I saved like $3,000. Oh, great. We're going to match your $3,000 plus we're going to give you another $50. You know, or maybe they're gonna give him a do not kneel scholarship. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It could be something great, man. It could be something great. We don't know yet. It could be something really great.
All right,
You know what I mean?
you can go with that, okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
you just want to make it seem like Carolina just cheaping out. They are worth $3.2 billion, so not like they're completely cheaping out, right?
Yeah, that let me look at this. I got to do this.
What's that?
Lowe's.
What kind of lawnmower do they get in though? They get
It's a damn push mower. It ain't even a riding mower.
Is it separate pair?
No. Let me just look and see how much this a lawnmower is
I thought they were the same
at Lowe's.
right now.
Okay.
I was about to say to you right now.
I just need to look here because come on, man. Let's see, lawn mower.
Maybe that's what he asked for, Dave. Maybe that's what he asked for.
Okay.
Maybe he asked for a self-propelled.
Let me see. And now that I look at it, does this even have a bag? What they call it?
Does this lawnmower have a bag?
No, it doesn't even have a bag collection on the back of it. Oh man, that's kind of jive. So if I go out to Lowe's right now, oh wow, we can get a. This look like the one they got him. Okay, let's give them the benefit of the doubt because that one was red. They got it. They didn't get him the cheap one, which was $169.
They went up with nine.
They might have. It looks like they got him the 269 model. So
Okay.
hey,
Okay.
I mean that
So they
was
spent $300 with
yeah,
gas.
that was pretty
That's
cool.
significant, Dave.
No, let me tell you, they didn't spend a penny.
Lowe's gave it to him.
Of course they did.
Wouldn't you if you were Lowe's?
I ain't mad at Lowe's. You know,
You mad at the Carolina?
I'm mad at the Carolina Panthers.
So you should call Cam and ask Cam why he didn't contribute.
You know, that's a good question. But after that outfit, Cam probably feeling sick after that outfit he had. Did you see the outfit he had on yesterday? Man, where did they play yesterday?
See, they played in Carolina. But they played
So
St. Louis.
it had to be hot.
Yeah,
No, they didn't play St. Louis. They played Los Angeles.
same thing.
No,
The
it's
Rams
not.
are the Rams. No matter how you, no matter what.
Where
you
were
look
the
at, Rams are the
where
Rams.
were the Rams when you were growing up?
They were in St. Louis.
No, they were not.
The Rams were in St. Louis when I played. When I was growing.
No, they were not.
The Rams
Man,
were
you
in
grew
St.
up in the 40s. Come on.
Nah, that's when you grew up. I'm
You
talking
know.
about when I grew up in the 70s. I'm a
The
70s.
Cardinals were in St. Louis,
That's right, the St. Louis Cardinals. My bad. Jesus. The Rams were in LA.
in Los
Yeah,
Angeles.
the Rams were in LA. That's
Exactly.
right. My
So,
bad.
there you go.
My bad.
I understand you getting old and your memory is getting faulty.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about the St. Louis Rams when I went back and won the championships.
Yeah, I can't. I remember those well. That was the Titans. By the way, the Titans are going to. The Titans are going to retire Steve McNair's number this
That's
week,
cool.
and it's long overdue. And I know this is a sports point, but it's long overdue. Many of my friends who lived in Nashville would say the Titans never did right by Steve McNair, and until they did, they were not going to be
So
successful.
why you say they never did right by him?
They just never gave him the accolades that many of us felt like he should have
Oh,
gotten.
he was right. Okay.
And so he and Eddie George this weekend are going to have their numbers retired.
Eddie George finally, okay.
so-
Eddie George was the all-time. He was. I don't know if he still is. He was the all-time league rusher.
Man, I'll tell you, the first time I saw him, I went down you know, they let you go down from the press box 5 minutes before the game's over with. So you can go stand on the sideline.
Right.
And the first time I did that with Eddie George, I just looked at him. I said, "Damn, you big." And he just started laughing. Because that boy, you have no idea how big he was. Eddie was only about 6'3". But I mean, when you have that girth,
Yeah.
I mean, woo, no wonder they had problems tackling that boy.
Because he was just mad.
Man, he was massive, dude. I'm gonna tell you, and he could stand beside Steve McNair, and McNair would. I mean, they were almost like twins. They were, man. Them boys were huge. But anyway, to make a long story short, they are retiring his number, so I'm excited about that. That is a good thing, and I wish I could be in Nashville for that. I might even try to make my way up there this weekend if I can. All right, so let's look at some of the other stories that we've got. Um, a Watson County Sheriff Officer Commander has resigned. Williamson County, Texas. And that reminds me, we were talking about the Republicans. Man, that they've had, in Texas alone, they've had 5 different congressmen to say they will not run for re-election in this upcoming election.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And it makes me wonder. I'm a big boy and I think about stuff all the time. But why do you think all 5 of them are resigning like that? Could it be that there may be something nefarious that might be coming out? Doesn't it seem peculiar to you?
Nah. So I was reading something last night where you had the lady who was over she was a congressman. I can't remember where she's from now, but she voted on the Comcast net neutrality thing, and then she left. She didn't run. She didn't run her next term. She went to become a lobbyist for Comcast. So, no, I'm not surprised at all by them leaving, man. Because if you leave, you can make far more money than just staying there.
Oh, I agree with
plus,
that.
The great thing about being a senator that if you retire, you get to keep everything in your war chest.
Yeah, I know. So that means they got some money.
Oh yeah. So you raise money like you're gonna run, and all of a sudden you go, you know what? I ain't gonna run. And you take the $5-10 million, whatever you got in your war chest, you just take it home with you. You live happily ever after. That ain't bad work if you can get it, man.
Well, there is a move in some states where they are trying to pass term limits where you can only run for 2 terms regardless of the seat.
I'm kind of like you. We don't need term limits. We just need to vote.
We just need to vote. I agree with you. Lupita Nyong'o says that on why her children's book is a tribute to melanin magic she needed. She said when she was a kid, she used to pray, and that's a pretty black woman too. She used to pray, she would wake up lighter. I'm telling you, man, white supremacy is everywhere. She's a pretty woman too. I'm sorry, that story was just for me because I like looking at Lupita. My other girl, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, says, I like this girl. Listen what she says. She says, white supremacy is like a virus, and it's America's original sin. It never went away. It was just dormant.
It was never dormant. Where they been? Where have they been? It was never dormant.
It wasn't, well, when you say dormant, it wasn't in our face the way it is right now. But you're right, it wasn't dormant. It's always been there. It's just been under the radar. Okay? But she's coming for these folks. I like her. I'm going to tell you. I like me some AOC.
She is a fan blowing directly into the wind.
Well, white supremacy isn't going anywhere anytime soon.
She's a fan blowing directly
When you have a sitting senator smiling with a white supremacist, an international white supremacist, as if they just took a couple of shots of Cuervo, then you're right. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. But the point of it is, I think, is to make people aware that it is out there. And the more people talk about it.
I like the way white people keep saying it's been dormant. It's just starting to come back.
I know.
Y'all ain't been.
I know.
Y'all should be black. It ain't never left.
I know. That is kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like that poll last week where it said racism is more prevalent now under Trump.
Where the hell y'all been? If memory serves, they was killing a bunch of unarmed brothers under Obama. They was knocking them down.
Yep. I mean, that's always been going on, and that's the point.
But social media just makes it just gives us access
Exactly.
to it a lot quicker than it did back in the day.
Exactly.
If we ever got access to it at all, right?
So,
and I watched a great. I watched a great show last night. The show was amazing. I caught it by accident. It was called Corporate FM on Netflix. And if you guys get a chance, I think it was on Netflix, either Netflix or Amazon. If you guys get a chance, check it out. So what was great about it? What it says that what happens now is that the radio airwaves are now censored. Because now you have three people, three CEOs who make the decision about what's played in local radio stations.
Yep.
So you no longer have that local flavor that you had before. You'd have local artists.
How old is that piece? Because that's been almost.
I want to say it started in 2000.
I'm talking about that piece you were talking about that you watched.
I watched it. I want to say it was done in 2010, 2011.
Yeah, because that's old news.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
that's old
They
news.
were saying that it became. They set it in motion under Clinton and Bush.
Right.
They set the laws in motion where you could buy up all these radio stations.
Right.
But they said until the private equity firms came in, the private equity firms are straight gangsters, right? So the private equity firms says, hey, we'll give you the money to buy up all these radio stations. However, we're going to charge you 20%. We're going to charge you a 20% fee, and it's just a handling fee.
Right.
It's just because we're dealing with you, right? Now you're going to pay us the loan back, and we got some other fees in there too. So these private equity companies, they make it a killer.
Yep. And the reason radio is a mess is because of that.
Yeah.
And what really changed it, started it moving back, is, and this was a few years ago, there was and I want to say it happened in North Dakota.
Right.
And there was a rail spill, a huge fire. And there were three main companies. There was Cumulus. God, I can't think of them. Man, I used to know these off the top of my
Cumulus,
head.
iHeart, and
Even before
and
iHeart.
Channel.
Clear Channel was another one, but even before iHeart. Citadel.
Cumulus, Citadel, and Clear Channel.
And Clear Channel. So what they were doing is they were basically playing music out of New York. They fired all the DJs, and they were simply in other words, they automated all radio stations.
Right.
They played the same stuff. So you didn't get any traffic. Well, you might have gotten traffic. Some did keep news. But other than that, it's kind of like Sirius Radio is now.
Yeah.
Is that you get generic DJs.
Right. You don't get anything local.
You don't get anything local, which that's fine on satellite radio.
Right.
So this train explosion happened in North Dakota, and all of these toxic chemicals started flowing out. And typically when things like that happen,
People tune into the radio.
people tune into the radio because there are places, believe it or not, that didn't have television at the time.
Right.
But you can always get a radio signal.
Yeah.
And no one got the signal. And that's when the government began to push back and say, hey, wait a minute, we've got to change this. And then that's when they slowly began to sell those stations off. So now you can buy, that's why Cumulus, Clear Channel, in fact, I don't even think Clear Channel is even in effect anymore. I know one of them has gone out of
Clear
business.
Channel's still there.
What was Citadel maybe?
Citadel was bought by Cumulus.
Okay, so
So you only have three now. You got
So
Clear
so
Channel.
what you have now, if you want to buy a radio station, thus the development of Joynet Radio, if you want to buy a radio station, you could get it for almost a song. Because Radio and Records, which is the Bible for this industry, had an article, this had to be 7-8 years ago, about how Cumulus was about to go belly up. Many of them are going belly up because of the internet, number one, and then number two, no one listens to their stations anymore.
Yeah.
They own all of these stations, but no one listens to them because you got other avenues now to listen to music. And now, I mean, see the difference in them and us? See, that's why we can sell commercials at a much lower rate than they can. Because look, everything you see right here is what we maintain.
Right. Yeah.
Basically computers,
Yeah.
microphones,
Yeah.
this building for lease.
Right.
But they have to maintain engineers. They have to maintain towers.
They cut all that out.
They have
cut all the engineering out. They cut
well,
back on all the engineering.
well, they cut back on it, but they still have to pay it because FCC law, you have to have a licensed engineer to work on your tower. So,
Oh, you talking about working on the tower?
oh yeah, you gotta have.
Inside the studio.
Oh no, you gotta have. Now you thinking about DJs? I'm talking about you still need an engineer to help that station go. Okay, trust me, this is my business. So,
but I thought it was really amazing how they just cut it off.
Yeah.
And he talked about, so this one lady was on there and she was talking kind of like something you just said, right? That they had this big, I want to say explosion in the city. And after the fact, nothing ever happened. So this group got together and decided they were going to do something to kind of challenge Cumulus to bring back local DJs, right? So they said they contacted Bruce Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen said, yeah, they wanted to use our town as they wanted to be able to use our town as their kind of as their slogan, right? So Bruce Springsteen eventually told him yes. And at the time, Bruce Springsteen was about to release a new album. Bruce Springsteen later comes back to them and says, hey, you know what, I apologize. However, I'm getting ready to go on tour, and I don't need to fight with Cumulus. So, you can't use my music, but I love you. And she said, the lady said something I thought was really pathetic. She said, if Bruce Springsteen is afraid of Cumulus, if he doesn't want to fight with him, what chance do we have?
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't have much chance. See, here's what they did in Nashville. A very good friend of mine who was he was a dentist and he was a promoter. Okay. Prior to this happening, he would bring shows to Nashville, good shows.
Okay.
So Cumulus bought up 92Q, which I've been on that station numerous times. A good friend of mine, Ernie Allen, is the program director. And what ended up happening is that after they bought it up, they ended up deciding that they were going to bring artists to the city. Now, my friend, still a promoter, it's okay, that's cool. So he goes to Cumulus and says, hey, look, I want to sell because they bought the black stations.
Yeah, that's partner, right?
Right. No, he said, I'm bringing a show to Nashville. I want to buy some ads.
No.
Oh, they said, yeah, well, no, they ain't going to say no. They're going to take your money. But whereas the ads may have been $60 an ad, they doubled and tripled the pricing on it. Okay?
Yeah.
Ultimately running him out of business because he couldn't afford to bring shows where he couldn't do radio advertising.
Right.
Okay? So they basically stole the promotion business in Nashville as it related to black promoters. Now, the difference in them and the white promoters, they couldn't steal that because Nashville is country music. WSM was one of the first stations to play country music. You know, when you drive into Nashville, you'll see a big logo on a red logo on a tower up there. So they couldn't do it to them,
right,
but they still bought up their stations. And then, of course, with Nashville and all of the radio companies, record companies in Nashville, RCA and all of those in Nashville, they didn't want to go to war with them, but they did go to war with the black entertainers and the black artists as well. And it really, for a long time, you didn't get concerts in Nashville. For I want to say 5 or 6 years, because when 92Q would try to put them on, people wouldn't go. And then artists would say, well, look, you don't sell out, so no need in me coming. So, but yeah, they really that it was called deregulation. Basically, what happened is that anybody could do radio. See, you used to have to have a license. You used to have an FCC license. In fact, I still have my FCC license before you could do radio. But now, that's why you get anybody on the radio. Now, some of these yahoos, and you're like, well, what the hell are you talking about? You know, so I'm very familiar with that story. It's because I basically lived it in Nashville. It was crazy. Speaking of Nashville, you know, we're getting ready to have a community oversight board here. Let me just read a little bit of this here to you, okay? Metro Police are refusing to provide information to Nashville's new Community Oversight Board. The group has submitted multiple public records requests, and they've been all denied. A lack of cooperation that could be a sign of a difficult path forward. The Community Oversight Board relies on documents from Metro Nashville Police Department to conduct investigations. The board has received 15 complaints so far and has launched 3 investigations, but up to this point, the department hasn't turned over any information. Members of the COB were caught off guard when they learned at a meeting last week that investigators have been facing roadblocks. Board Chair Ashley Davis told the Executive Director William Whedon that the community expects them to get the information they need to investigate the complaints by the police. They are coming to us assuming that when they file a complaint with your office that you have all the tools in your arsenal to go forward and look for the necessary information. That's just not happening. Now, the reason I'm reading this story is because the COB in Nashville, they have subpoena power.
Okay.
The COB in Little Rock doesn't. You get my point?
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna be.
Don't say
supportive.
that. Don't say
I'm
that.
gonna
Don't say
be
that.
supportive.
Don't say that.
And the reason I'm going to be supportive is very simple. I got to tell you, the reason I'm going to be supportive is very simple. Is because I was really surprised that it even made it this far. So I'm just going to wait and see what happens. I'm not gonna bash it. I'm just going to wait and see what happens. Because you got to get it in there first, Dave. Then you can ration it up once you get it there.
Well,
We'll see if it happens though. Let's be cautiously optimistic. What up? Are you not supportive of your mayor? Dave?
yes,
Dave?
I love the mayor.
Oh, you love him?
Yes. U.S. Customs. When was the last time you ate Chinese?
Well, it's been a minute.
U.S. Customs
I only
seizes.
eat dog once a month.
U.S. Customs seizes 32 pounds of rat meat at Chicago O'Hare Airport.
You're making the assumption that has to do with dogs and cats and rats. You're making the assumption that they're cooking rat meat. Now, somebody told me rat meat tastes just like chicken. The one thing I will say about rats, they ain't got no steroids in them now.
Okay.
That's some fresh meat and they got no steroid in it.
Okay.
Then why you licking your lips? You ready to go eat some Chinese?
No, I haven't eaten Chinese.
You want to eat some Chinese after the show?
I told you about what happened to the young lady years ago in Nashville. By the way, at the Classic in Atlanta, didn't it?
You want to go out to the Chinese place out on Shackelford? It's pretty good, man.
When
It's
you
called
know what?
Panda Cat.
When I eat sushi, usually I sit right there at the sushi bar and watch him make my sushi.
Stop it.
I'm serious. If I can't sit at the sushi bar and, man, I'll tell you, when I went to Los Angeles one year, they had a 3-seat sushi bar. They had a sushi master. This guy was like 5'4". He may have weighed 90 pounds. And man, that was the best sushi that I've ever eaten. And I sat there, I was the only black guy. There was a white guy from Georgia and a white guy from Alabama. We were at the Crown Plaza in Los Angeles, right by the LAX. And man, that was some of the best darn sushi I had ever eaten in my life. But to say all that, I'm just saying, I simply won't eat stuff that I don't know what I'm eating. I just won't. So.
I can't do it though. You just left that wide open. But I'm not gonna take it. I'm not gonna take the shot.
Leave alone. Anyway, 855-525-5683 is the number. We need to take our top of the hour break. When we come back, we'll jump into some other stuff. We're just kind of getting caught up on the headlines, some things that are going on. You can call us up at 855-525-5683 is the number.
Get in the combo.
It's Black Focus Radio. Our issues, our solutions, our voices on joynetradio.com.
That's what's up.
James F. Swindoll provides our clients the personal care and attention that larger law firms cannot offer. Our experienced attorneys have brought hundreds of cases to verdict in state and federal court and recovered millions for our clients. If you or a loved one have been injured or have property wrongfully damaged, we may be able to help. Do not hesitate to contact our firm anytime for a free attorney consultation. Call 1-800-848-1290. That's 1-800-848-1290. Or email inquiries at arkansas-personal-injury.com. Our law offices are centrally located at 212 Center Street in Little Rock. That's the law offices of James F. Swindoll, personal injury and products liability attorney serving Arkansas since 1977.
Mitchell Funeral Home welcomes all of Arkadelphia and Arkansas to connect with a family-owned and operated service provider in Clark County since 1966. At Mitchell Funeral Home, they understand.
Hey, here's a guy's name. He plays football in Louisiana. His name is the coldest to ever do it, Crawford.
Yeah, I saw that.
Professional services they provide. Cremations,
Lord have
funeral,
mercy.
burial policy, life insurance,
My people,
notary,
my people,
and
my
monument
people.
sales are just a few of the services they offer. Flexible packages are available as well. Mitchell Funeral Home appreciates the trust and confidence placed in them and will continue to enhance their services so as to serve you better. Call now. Get connected.
What's up, 12?
870-246-2611.
Yeah.
That's 870.
Oh, man, I've been trying to get in touch with your girl to pick up the check.
Click or come by.
Come over time, I call.
MitchellFuneralServices.com. Don't wait
Yeah.
till you need it. Call us now. Let's walk through this together. 870-246-2611.
Because I want to try to get this done this week, today.
Hi, this is Alvin from Habibi's 4317 East Broadway in North Little Rock. We still have the green top at your very next stop. The same great service, but more of it. Give us a call, 501-663-1553 or 664-2992, or call our toll-free number, 1-877-HABIBI-1. Diapers, pull-ups, hospital gifts, wheelchairs, Simply Fit, diabetic
The
supplies,
Central people said they sent all the information.
Medical Supply Center.
LeBron James is the greatest player we've seen this
Oh.
generation. You have to be careful when you start saying.
FDA advises consumers not to eat yellowfin tuna in Arkansas Kroger stores.
Man that lives down the street, and every time you walk on his yard, and you even walk
Let me see if
by
this
his
is
yard,
what I
he's on
think it
board,
is.
He's got that little crooked finger. He's like, "Get off my lawn! Get off my lawn!"
Join the weekly sports magazine every Saturday, 8 to 10 a.m. on JoyNetRadio.com.
Get off my lawn!
You got it. Each Little Rock's answer to your aggravation. Joy Network.
The views and opinions expressed today on Black Focus Radio are not the views and opinions of the station, its management, or its advertisers. Now, let's get ready to focus on our issues, our solutions, using our voices on Black Focus Radio.
Welcome to Black Focus, the show designed with our community in mind, where we focus on our issues, developing our solutions, using our voices. Central Arkansas, surrounding areas, and the nation. Get ready. Black Focus starts right now. Phone lines open at 855-525-5683. So here's your host, David W. Coleman and Robert Webb.
All right, welcome back to the show. Dave Coleman and Robert Webb in the house. 855-525-5683 is the number. I was doing a little research in the break, and I ran across something that kind of scared me because I'm a big seafood eater.
Tuna
And
ain't seafood.
see, yeah, it is. I'm not talking about tuna fish, the stuff you mix with mayonnaise and all kinds of stuff to hide the flavor of the fish. I'm talking about real tuna.
Sweet Jesus.
Man, you people are so uncouth.
Me,
Man.
your highness.
I'm talking about yellowfin
Give me
tuna.
your bougie one.
So in other words, an article just came down that if you are eating fresh tuna from
You're not eating fresh
from
tuna.
Kroger, if you're buying that stuff in the can, that ain't fresh tuna. By the way, that's albacore tuna. Okay. Scrambroid poisoning typically occurs when people eat certain fish that have been inadequately preserved. These include the spiny fin fish known as the scumbridae, bacteria that grow during improper storage, and the dark meat of the fish produced scrambroid toxins. Scrambroid is a histamine-like chemical. The toxin does not affect everyone who ingests it. So in other words, if you purchase some tuna from Kroger's, this is in Arkansas. This is in multiple states, by the way. But Arkansas is one of them. Then I'm just warning you that you could very well end up getting sick by eating that tuna. So be aware of that if you're out there. In other words, you probably need to throw it away. In fact, do yourself a favor and throw it away. Because, man, I love me some blackened tuna. This warning goes Arkansas, Alabama, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Michigan, Missouri, Mississippi, New England. What is New England? What is in the Ohio, South Carolina, and Tennessee. So it runs the gamut. So be careful if you got, I'm not talking about tuna fish. I know if you grew up in the hood, Robert's talking about tuna fish, okay? The canned stuff that, that used to have all that oil on it. And then someone got hip and said, well, don't put oil on it, put water on it. It's still nasty. Either way. Tuna salad. I got your tuna salad.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
David W. Coleman.
I'm just saying, man. You need to learn to eat. All right, let's see. Oh, I meant to talk about this last week too. A serial rape suspect found after trying to join the police force, hunting him.
What?
So when I read this story last week, I said, I got to. We get so caught up sometimes, I forget to cover some things. So this guy, and he's a brother, by the way, had been identified as a serial rapist. Okay? So he decided that for some reason he was going to join the police force. Now, he had left.
Is this before or after he was convicted?
No. They didn't know it. They just knew there was a serial rapist out somewhere, and they had collected DNA evidence. They couldn't find him. You get this, right? Mm-hmm. So he shows up. And I think he was actually on the force as a cadet for like a month. And apparently, well, let's just do this. Cops hunting a serial rapist in Georgia found him right under their noses when he tried to join their police force. Kenneth Thomas Bowen III, 24, only came into spotlight when he joined the Clayton County Police Department's Academy in 2018. He was fired after just a few months for lateness and constant lying. So he had been on this force for lying. Officers later realized Bowen had been named a suspicious person after at least one of the 8 attacks that terrorized Jonesboro, Georgia. Detectives soon noticed the striking resemblance between Bowen's photo and police sketches. After also linking Bowen's tattoos to the suspect's description, officers obtained a search warrant for his DNA and linked him to the 8 attacks. Now check this out. This is a friend of mine in Nashville used to remember that show America's Dumbest Criminals?
Yeah.
Dude would have gotten away.
Hey, not what?
Check this out. Had he not attempted to join the ranks of the Clayton County Police Department, it is questionable as to when we would have apprehended him. Notice he said when. You wouldn't have apprehended him. You didn't have a clue. He done raped 8 women. Apparently you wasn't going to apprehend him. And I guess he got too smart for his own pants. No pun intended.
I can get that smart for his own pants. That's an intellectual joke, I'm sorry. He got too smart for his own pants and decided that, hey, let me go and join the police department and see what evidence they got. And while I'm there, I'm going to destroy all that evidence. And then when I destroy the evidence, I'm going to quit.
Well, you know, it's kind of like the guy in California who was a police officer. Come to find out, he was one day he was a serial killer or something.
Yeah, and of course the rapist cop in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But that I just found that was just so crazy, man. You know, come on, too smart for
Hey,
you.
what I love is that the police department hired him.
And that's the point.
There's nothing that indicated this guy was a little different.
Yeah. Look, they weren't trying to discriminate.
He was a black dude. Wasn't
He was black. You know, they want to get as many brothers on the force as they can, because you know.
Even worse, he was a brother. That's
Yeah.
even worse.
That's crazy, man.
It almost makes you want to say he deserved it.
Well, he did. I mean, look, I'm not condoning the crimes that he made, but dude, you gonna really go out and join the police force if you know they're looking for you? Come on, man. That's just pure stupidity. By the way, whoever left that black Sharpie in my car, and Donald Trump hadn't been in there. I'm just saying. But they've been clowning him all over the weekend too, man.
Big Trump.
Man, about that Sharpie. Oh man, they've been clowning dude, man. That's it's to the point now where I think people are realizing that we got an idiot in the White House. Oh, CNN is preparing to premiere an all-black news show. But you know what this is? You know what this is trying to counter, don't you?
Black focus.
Well, that of course. God, Byron Allen has bought up all of these stations, and he also sued a lot of stations because he said they were trying to keep him from buying the stations. He's now in a suit against Comcast and what's the other big cable company? I can't think of the name of it. What's the big cable company out west? Well, no, it's Comcast and there's another one. But anyway, and then you do realize that there's also a black news network channel that's about to be launched.
I didn't know that.
And I want to say that's going to be launched by an HBCU. I think it's FAMU.
That's what's
They're
up,
going
baby.
to, let's see. Let me see here. So what CNN is doing, because the bulk of CNN's listeners or viewers are black. Not many other people watch CNN. So they're trying to counter that. So let's see, here it is. It's called the Black News Channel. It will be a unique multi-platform news and information channel created by African Americans, subscription television's most dynamic, high growth and loyalty consumers. Despite the proliferation of basic and premium cable, and you think about it, man, when you go and you look at, because I have Hulu, I've got, I don't watch traditional television anymore. I have Amazon Prime, Netflix,
Right.
you know, and I do get news through Hulu, but it's usually national news.
Okay.
But when you think about those premium pay channels, there aren't any black ones.
No.
And if they are black, they're not owned by black people. They're
Like BET.
they're funneling black content. But since BET cut their news decades ago, there hasn't been any black news that speaks to, I mean, to be totally honest, part of the reason we do Black Focus is because of that very fact.
There's no black
It's
content.
because there's no black content out there. If you look in Little Rock alone, when we first started, we asked the question, where do you go to get your black information. No one can tell me. Now, still there are people out there that can't tell you, but at least we're beginning to make a dent. It takes a while, but people know about Black Focus now. Once we launch this, what y'all don't know, there's television coming. I'll just leave that right there. There's more happening. So, but it's good to see that they are about to launch a new. And by the way, guess who's the owner?
Who?
J.C. Watts. Why'd you say it like that? Why'd you say it like that, Robert?
I can't do this with you today.
What?
I can't do this with you
What?
today.
You don't like J.C., man?
Quarterback from Oklahoma, former Republican for the 13th
Yeah.
district in Oklahoma. Man,
That's
come
him.
on, man, stop. What's the 5th district? I don't remember.
That's him.
Fifth.
You know what? And as much as I enjoyed watching him play after I realized his political leanings, I hate I cheered for him. That's bad.
And his name was Julius Caesar Watts.
Ain't that something? No wonder he went by J.C. You know, what was his mama thinking?
The 4th district. I said the 5th district. The 4th district. I was close.
What was his mama thinking? But what is a lot of you mamas thinking?
Shared the House Republican Conference. Let's see, hold on. Let's see what committees he was on while he was there, because that might explain this better than anything else.
And it might be, again, Byron Allen is coming for a lot of them, okay? And
That's probably why JC got a station.
yeah, Byron Allen is coming for a lot of them. That he's not playing, dude. I'm gonna tell you. And right now he's in a battle with Comcast because Comcast doesn't want to carry his content. Well, wait a minute. You can't decide what content you're gonna carry and not carry.
Yeah, they don't want that. They don't want an independent voice like that.
Exactly.
Too strong.
Exactly. So there's I know a lot of people is not following that battle, but that's something to pay attention to, folks. I'm going to tell you because again, it could change the entire landscape. At least, look, I've said it over and over again. The best way to make people do things is simply brainwash them. What's the number one brainwashing mechanism in the world? It's the damn media. It's the most powerful weapon in the world. That's why your president be raising hell when the media don't go with him lock, stock, and barrel, because he knows if I can't get the media on my side, I got a tough hill to climb. So that's something to pay attention to, folks.
Charleston Heston campaigned for him in 1994.
You talking about Chairman?
Yeah.
Let's see, when was the last time?
Chairman was Clint Eastwood.
Oh, it sure was. I stopped watching his movies too. I stopped watching the Ten Commandments when I realized Moses was black. I ain't been a fan of. I'm trying to think of a movie that I like Charlton Heston in. Oh, Planet of the Apes. I can't believe they've blown it up. But, yeah, that's an old movie, by the way.
Yeah. So I understand him buying the TV station. One of the committees he served on while in Congress was the Financial Services Committee. Yeah.
Well, we'll see how it goes. I don't know if you've been following.
He was the only African American. Y'all ready for this?
Sure was.
He was the only African American who did not join the Congressional Black Caucus.
Yes, he was.
He supported ending affirmative action,
Yep.
declaring inadequate education the main obstacle for racial equality.
No, that's not true.
Subsequently
JC.
opposed legislation banning the practice for the federal government. Watts focused on promoting his party, attending NAACP meetings, and meeting with representatives from historically black colleges. In 1995, Watts was named national co-chair for the presidential campaign of, you guessed it, Republican Bob Dole.
Yep. He was a preacher too.
And somebody's gonna watch his station. Who's gonna watch his station? Well, they ain't gonna be me.
Me either. And as soon as they find out that it's ran by a Republican, black folks ain't gonna watch it. Black folks vicious like that. They go, man, you ain't gonna watch AC. I can't believe you watching JC Watch. Oh man, you watching that? Oh man, what's wrong with you?
He did give the response to Clinton in '97. He was the only black Republican in the House at the time, and they chose him to give the response to Bill Clinton in '97.
Wow. Let's put the black out
First,
first.
the youngest congressman and first American to do so.
Good for him. I don't know if you followed the story of Jamel Hill over the weekend. Did you hear what she did late last weekend? You didn't listen to the weekly sports magazine Saturday morning.
I unfortunately did. I did.
See,
I was really busy. I'm listening to another radio station.
I can't believe you did that.
I'm messing with you.
Gosh.
I had to take a shot at you. No, I didn't get to hear it. Tell me what happened.
Well, I talked a lot about Jamel Hill, and we've talked a lot about how we can change this process, and how you change the process is that you hurt them in the pocket. So Jamel Hill, she went there. She broke it down, wrote an op-ed for the Atlantic, saying that black athletes should leave PWIs and go to.
She did that a couple of weeks ago, didn't she?
Yeah, it was about a week ago.
Okay.
And go to white universities.
Okay.
She had said it, but she actually wrote an op-ed.
Okay.
And I read the entire op-ed on the show Saturday.
Okay.
In fact, I spent the entire first hour talking about it because it was, and the reason I was talking about it is because I've told you before that I'm writing a book. It's called Blue Chip Down. I don't know if I've told you, but I am. I'm writing a novel. And the premise of the novel is a young black superstar athlete who excels in all sports. He is the Adonis of athletics. Decides that he's not going to take the big scholarship at Big U.
He's gonna go somewhere else.
In fact, he's not going to play.
All black.
In fact, and what he does is it trips an effect. There's a domino effect of a lot of other black athletes supporting him.
Okay.
To the point where high schools and colleges are being boycotted, where black kids are not playing. It gets so bad that it affects the NFL. Just to show you, and I'm not to be bragging on myself, but to show you how forward thinking I've been for years.
Okay.
I started writing this book about 7 years ago.
Well, you can see it happening. You can see
Okay.
the tides turning. Yeah, you can see the tides
So the point being is that I've been saying for the longest, at least 10 years, that if you want to affect change in white society, stop sending your children to white universities, okay? Especially to play football. Only 2.5% of black people make up predominantly white universities. I didn't know that, though. That's a small number. And the majority of those people are athletes. And they're there because of the millions of dollars, the billions of dollars that they earn annually. So she wrote this letter, and man, she been taking all kinds of.
Someone wanted me to share with you.
Okay.
They said, this is Dave. They
Okay.
said, no, Dave. Not bragging on him. Not bragging on yourself. That's never happened.
No, I never brag on myself. What? Why would I do that? I mean, come on, smart ass.
They taking shots at you.
That's
Dave.
all right. Well, they're usually taking them at you, so that's fine.
Yeah,
but-
I'm glad it's you today.
But I'm proud of Jamel Hill because since she got
weathered the storm.
she got done wrong at ESPN, and
I think it's open up for something better with LeBron.
well, it has.
Yeah.
It clearly has.
Have you seen Shut Up and Dribble?
Not yet. No.
You check him out.
No,
Really
not yet.
good.
But Stan Verrett, who is on ESPN, because people have been saying that she's trying to get black people to resegregate themselves.
Right.
well, white people segregate themselves, but that's okay for them. But when black people segregate ourselves,
it's not okay when we do it.
It's not okay. So here's Stan Verrett, who went to an HBCU, and I'm gonna, because the numbers will shock you as what HBCUs do. But here's Stan Verrett. He says, as an HBCU grad, let me clear up a few misconceptions. HBCUs exist because of segregation, not to segregate. At one point, they were the only option for qualified black kids to attend college, but other races have never been forbidden. Anyone of any race can attend and apply and be accepted to HBCUs. And he's exactly right, because look, did you know that HBCUs get federal funding for every white kid that goes to an HBCU? Mm-hmm. Okay? So there, at one point, in fact, there was a kid that went to Tennessee State who told me right off the bat, he said, I applied for a scholarship at another school, didn't get that, so I applied at the TSU, I got it.
Yeah, the rest is history.
The rest is history, because TSU, they want him there, because TSU is a state-run college.
They need to lighten the campus up a little bit.
So, but my point being is, just like TSU gets kickbacks for having whites on its campus, white campuses get kickbacks for having blacks on their campus. I've been telling people this for years. They didn't believe that.
It goes both ways.
It definitely goes both ways. But I find it interesting that Jamel Hill, and I was trying to find the article, because the numbers that we take HBCUs for granted, okay? We don't really understand. Okay, here it is. Good. Let me just read some of these numbers to you. We don't understand exactly what HBCUs do for us. Okay?
It's a hell of a lot.
And to give you an example, here's a couple of graphs from this article. The NCAA reported $1.1 billion in revenue for fiscal year 2017. Most of that money came from Division I men's college basketball tournament. In 2016, the NCAA extended the television agreement with CBS and Turner Broadcasting to 2032, an $8.8 billion deal. About 30 Division I schools each bring in at least $100 million in athletic revenue every year. Almost all of these schools are majority white. In fact, black men make up only 2.4% of the total undergraduate population of 65 schools in the so-called Power 5 athletic conferences.
Football and basketball. Yet black
men make up 55% of football players and 56% of basketball players. But here's the point I want to make about HBCUs, okay? Despite constituting only 3% of four-year colleges in the country, HBCUs, get this, have produced 80% of black judges, 50% of black lawyers, 50% of black doctors, 40% of black engineers, 40% of black members of Congress, 13% of black CEOs in America. Those are huge numbers.
But look at what the white schools have done. They got 70% of CEOs. They got 60% of black judges. 70% of black lawyers.
You don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
So what you talking about, Dave?
I'm simply saying.
White schools are simply better.
Okay. They're simply better because they are using free labor, slave labor, hello, to make billions of dollars. And then they say, oh.
Are you going to ever get off of that
nope,
thing?
Nope, never. Never, ever, ever, ever. Yeah, I will. I'm thinking about becoming Episcopalian.
Your people got it good over here. Why y'all still on that slavery path?
Yeah, because I want my check now, and I'll have it even better. Just give me my check. I'll shut up.
Why you still talking about slavery, Dave? You ain't never picked no cotton and swung no hoe.
Okay.
Well, you might have swung a hoe, but you never picked no cotton.
All righty then.
Dave, you never picked no cotton, man.
I could say that if it wasn't relevant, then why do we have Civil War commemorations every year? So when they stop having Civil War commemorations and running around flying rebel flags, then I'll stop talking about slavery.
Why do you think you deserve reparations, Dave? You were never a slave.
My ancestors were.
You didn't even know them, Dave.
Don't matter. I know that all of y'all make money off of our peoples. Okay?
Well, how does that impact you, Dave?
It impacted me because I can't leave. I don't have generational wealth that was left to me that was made off the backs of my own people.
Jay, family is more important than money.
Yeah.
But you have family, Dave.
Yeah, sure
It's
is.
more important than money, Dave.
You think so?
More important than money.
Okay. So
Family's more important
I want you
than
to
money,
take up your cloak and follow me and give up all your worldly possessions.
Dave. Sure. Where we going?
We're going to the bank to cash you out.
Oh, we might not want to do that today. We might want to wait.
Check ain't cleared yet.
Might want to wait a couple of months. Let me get a little bankroll first, player.
But anyway, I just think that was an interesting article, and if you haven't had a chance to read that, but she's taking a lot of backlash, you know, and at the end of
she should.
No, she shouldn't.
She should.
Why should she?
Because y'all ain't appreciative of what y'all been getting, right? That's why I say they should have left y'all as slaves and bondage. Y'all don't appreciate nothing. I mean, think about all the good things that America's provided to y'all.
Rape, incest, pedophilia, lynchings, castrations,
Think about what Charles Drew did. We allowed
decapitations
Charles Drew to make the blood to come up with blood plasma. We did that, Dave. We gave him an opportunity to do that, Dave. America did that.
How did Charles Drew die?
He couldn't get a blood transfusion.
Why?
But Dave, those were the times then, Dave.
Yeah, those were the times when they were raping little girls and throwing them overboard for shark bait.
But think about all the beautiful babies they made, Dave. I mean, Dave, come on, Dave. Why two black people don't make beautiful babies like that?
My two babies were beautiful.
Black people don't make. Dave, your kids was dark skinned, Dave. They don't count.
I don't
I'm
care.
talking about the light skinned kids, Dave. The light skinned kids are better than dark skinned kids.
No, sorry.
We
No.
love the house kids.
No,
We
sorry.
love the light skinned kids, Dave.
No, sorry.
We love the light skinned kids.
So
Dave, stop it.
you're not gonna get me to bite on that silliness. Sorry.
Dave, stop it. Dave, you
I'm
know
just
that
not.
dark skinned people are not as intelligent as light skinned people.
Mm.
And light skinned people work harder
Have
than
you ever heard of
dark-skinned people.
Kemet?
I have never heard of Kemet, and if I did, I would never admit it.
Okay. Kemet is sub-Sahara.
Uh-huh.
In other words, it's south of Egypt, near Timbuktu. Okay,
You still
those
want-
people.
you still wanna be
those,
black, Dave.
those people
Maybe still
were.
wanna be black.
Those people were black as the
Toward
night.
the light, Dave.
I'd rather be blind.
Walk toward the white light, Dave.
Those
Dave,
people.
black people are really unappreciative. Because, Dave, you've been given so much in America.
No.
So much, Dave. I mean, America, the place where you can be poor and homeless. And guess what, Dave?
A whole lot of us are
One day
poor
you can
and
wake
homeless.
up one morning, you can be a millionaire. Only in America. Only in America. Well, Dave, you can get shot by the police, and if you're lucky enough to live, you can get some money, Dave. Only in America. That's why they call it land opportunity for black folks.
Yeah.
It's the land opportunity for y'all, Dave.
Yeah,
You
it'd be
should
nice
appreciate
changing
what
that
you
colostomy
have.
bag every day.
You should appreciate what you have. See, that's why we don't like being good to y'all, because y'all ain't appreciative.
Okay.
Y'all just ungrateful.
Okay.
Free ride over here on the boat. Free ride, Dave. You got free ride.
Eating that gruel.
Eating food. We fed you good.
You were lucky.
Great accommodation.
You were lucky you made it and didn't get thrown
Then,
overboard.
Dave, we let you come here, Dave, and we let you work for free.
Oh.
I mean, Dave, how good is that?
Oh.
America has been so good to black folks.
Oh.
Y'all don't appreciate it. We even let y'all come eat with us.
Oh.
Then, you know, we said, well, you know what? Let's let them clean our houses. Let's let them cut our grass.
That's a good cleaner, massa.
We just let y'all do so much. We gave y'all so much trust inside our homes, Dave. And the way you repay us is you fight us.
You're lucky we didn't cut your throat and poison your food.
Well, Dave, we knew y'all wasn't going to do that.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't them kind of people. Dave.
Yeah, white
Because if y'all was
supremacy.
going to do that, we wouldn't have had y'all for slaves for so long.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't got no fight in y'all, Dave.
Yep.
That's why we still treat you like we treat y'all right
Yep.
now.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Y'all ain't got no backbone, Dave.
Yep.
So you know what? I heard something really funny, Dave.
All I gotta do is buy y'all some watermelon and y'all done.
Don't even have to buy you watermelon, Dave. I heard something really funny.
Uh-oh.
A whole group of Negroes came up and they said, hey, we want to talk about this unfair treatment. So the old white boy looked over at him and said, hey, tell y'all what y'all do. Y'all go back. Y'all pick a leader and come back. They never came back, Dave. You know why?
Why?
Y'all couldn't pick a leader, Dave. You can't pick a leader. Dave, you'll never be free, Dave. You'll always be a slave to us, Dave, because y'all don't listen. Y'all can't work together. Y'all can't work together. Black folks, y'all cannot work together.
Well, I hate to say it, but I agree with you.
If you want to enslave black folk, you know what you do first?
Keep them from reading.
No, you tell them it's the new thing to do.
Lock them in
It's
a
the new
library.
thing. Slavery's the new thing. And all of a sudden, they'll all want to do it. They'll all be wearing. They'll all go out to the store and buy chains and put on themselves. They'll put chains on their ankles and wear them to the club, Dave. They'll do it, Dave, because y'all just want to be black. Y'all want to be slaves. Y'all don't want to be free. You never wanted to be free, Dave. You never wanted that.
It's so hard.
Look at your neighborhoods, Dave. Your neighborhoods look like war zones. Yeah. Your kids can't read, but y'all don't care. Y'all really watch your Housewives of Atlanta. That's why we love y'all, Dave. We come to y'all neighborhoods.
Don't forget, we watch Power, man. Power.
We take your good Negroes, the ones that can read and write. We take them and we take them and then we cross them over. So they started hating y'all. And they don't even like y'all.
And let them marry a white woman.
Let them marry a white woman. We give them some white pride, white power.
Yeah, there you go.
White power, Dave. White power.
Yeah, all of that and more.
You will never make it, Dave. Y'all black folks will never make it. They said y'all used to rule the world. Y'all ain't ruled jack.
Yeah, okay.
Dave, you want to hear a real funny joke?
No.
I got to tell you anyway, Dave. Don't be mad, Dave. Black folk, Dave. You take what you call, Dave, what you call 3 blacks in Congress?
See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil.
No, Dave. You call them janitors.
Oh, see, that's bad.
It's the truth, Dave. Even if they're in Congress, they're still janitors, Dave. They just clean up after our mess. That's all they's doing, Dave.
Oh,
I
can't believe you'd say that about our illustrious Congress people. I mean, they're up there working hard for us.
Yeah, Dave.
They are.
What have they done for you lately?
Nothing. And
But you still support them, don't you?
Nope.
That's exactly what we want.
That's why I'm trying to get so many of
What we
them.
want.
So many of them ran out of office.
We wanted you to support them.
Them chili pimps.
That's why we get your best black leaders, the ones that y'all love, the lawyers and the doctors, and we get them, and we even get y'all preachers, the one y'all hold in high regard. And we break them down.
Why are you always talking about preachers, man?
Bend them over. We do something bad to them.
You don't like preachers, do you?
Do work. They come back and tell y'all, don't fight back. Pray about it.
You don't like preachers, do you?
Wait for God to come and reveal to you what we should do. And until you do that, I need you to break me off and put something in this plate. Feed me. By the way, my son's getting ready to go to college, and I need to give him a nice care package. So we're going to have a special offering over here in the corner for little Timmy. And y'all drop something off for little Timmy, because he about to go to college. And I need little Timmy to get a little something.
And then when little Timmy get home,
Yeah.
little Timmy, I need that money. I thought it was for my college fund. Boy, give me that money. I'm putting you out right now.
You out. You ain't ready, boy. You ain't ready, boy.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Will you please open the doors of the church? I want to talk to y'all before they open these doors. I need to tell y'all something. God does not love folks who don't give. If your lights off, God don't care.
I'm giving.
God said, give till it hurt. God wants you to give. If your lights out, if you ain't got no faith, keep that money in your pocket and pay your light bill. But if you got faith, put that money in this bucket. If you ain't got no faith, take it on with you, because God's going to show you. If you got some faith, put it in the bucket. If your car note is due, don't do that. Don't pay your car note. Bring it up here and put it in this bucket.
Even if you have to walk,
faith in
right?
God.
Yeah.
Have faith in the Father.
Yeah, even though you have to walk You know,
it don't matter.
The Lord wanted you to walk.
It don't matter.
See, you 2 pounds overweight. The Lord needed you to walk.
The Lord needs you to walk.
So you could lose them 2 pounds.
Lose them 2 pounds. Yeah. Come on over here. If your kid going to daycare and you got your daycare money, drop it off. The Lord will make a way. Put that money in this bucket. People, raise your hands. Who gonna put their money in the bucket? Write check. Give me cash. In the back, if you don't have a check with cash, make sure you see Brother Earl in the back. He got the debit machine. He got the credit card machine. You can just swipe the card. Now let me tell you, there's no excuse for you not to give. And by the way, we do take Walmart cards. And we do take the
EBT.
We take EBT.
Oh, okay.
So feel free to go in the back and give to the Hurts. And if you got an EBT card, let me tell y'all something right now. Your kids don't need to eat. If you don't believe in God, your kids don't need to eat. Now go back there and max out that EBT card. And if you worry about food, don't worry about food. Don't worry about it. If you got faith, God will provide for you. Now go back there and swipe that ATM card, that EBT card. Now we got everybody in here already. Everybody covered? Oh, I see my man back there in the back. Brother, stand up. Is your name David Coleman?
No.
David Coleman, I know you got paid on Friday. David Coleman.
No, I didn't.
Take your check over. Bring your check up here, David Coleman.
Ain't gonna happen.
David Coleman?
No.
Do you want to go to heaven?
If
you want to go to heaven, Dave, you got to break bread.
What's heaven?
Dave, do you want to go to heaven?
I'm not sure yet.
Dave, do you want to see your folks at the pearly gates? Do you want to stand there with your folks at the pearly gates? Dave, tell me, do you want to see your folks at the pearly gates?
No.
Damn, Dave, you rough, man.
Sorry.
You rough. But man,
by the way, how do you know the gates are pearly?
That's what they say. They always say the pearly gates.
They who?
All them pastors, they always talk about the pearly gates. I want to get to the pearly gates.
Wait a minute. I got a question for you.
Okay.
So, we don't know anyone that's been to the pearly gates.
Ain't nobody been to hell.
So we don't know anyone that can tell us beyond a shadow of a doubt that the gates.
Now, I'm gonna tell you something. Now, you know, white people big going to the moon. If it was a heaven, you know, we'd have had a spaceship in heaven already. They went up there and said, "Hey, we talked to God. God said we need to treat black folk better." God said,
"No, that's like the little boy that this was a couple of years ago who died and came back and said that, and his parents were white supremacists, and he came back and said that all the people in heaven was black.
All of them black.
That's not a surprise. You know, we good people. You know, some of y'all will bust brown.
Somebody said your VIP pass to hell will be for one. I'm cool with going to hell. That's where you're gonna have all the fun.
Okay.
Ain't gonna have no fun in hell.
I got another question. Do we know anybody that can really vouch?
Can't nobody vouch for hell either.
Okay.
But somebody can vouch that they get paid at the church.
You know, do we know anyone? I mean, considering the fact that the evidence that y'all use was written by a king who wrote devil worship literature as well as Christian literature, and given the fact that we talked about this last week, that you all evolved out of 3,000 years of another religion, I'm a little confused. I'm sorry.
Stop overthinking this.
I'm sorry. I'm just logical. I'm a logical thinker. I don't think with my heart. I'm not emotional like some of you all are. I dare to question.
Stop it, Dave.
You know what my problem is? I watched too much damn Star Trek when I was growing up. I've been trying to figure this out. I watched too much damn Star Trek. You know what my favorite character was on Star Trek growing up? Think about it. Who do you think was my favorite character growing up on Star Trek?
I don't know.
There were actually two.
It was probably Spock.
Spock was one, and then there was another one, a female. Had the prettiest legs on the Enterprise.
Oh, the lady, the black sister?
Lieutenant Uhura.
I don't know what to say.
And then I found out she was playing high salami with Captain Kirk, and that just messed me up.
Why?
So, but back to my point.
Okay,
Spock was a logical thinking person. And I blame my thoughts of logic in being like Spock.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
And so that's why I question stuff. I mean, I ask questions. I research stuff. I just don't let you tell me something and, you know, if it's a little bit incredulous to me, I'm probably going to research it. That's just me.
That makes sense.
And in all the reading and research that I've done over my lifetime, I'm yet to run across one writing anything that says, I've been there. Here's what it was like. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be mean.
Nobody's going to tell you.
You know, I've been there.
Nobody's been there.
I just want to know.
I mean, as many times as they've been to space, you know somebody that says something up there, God, can you give us some insight? What should we do right now? I mean, because think about it, man. If you got a God, you got to have a devil. If you got the good, you got to have the evil, right? Right?
Who created good and evil?
Man.
There you go. So why do you have to have it?
You got to. You got to have good and evil.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you got to, man.
No, you don't.
You got to, Dave. Sorry, Dave.
That's another white supremacist creation.
You got to have it, though, Dave. Everybody
Think about it. Before white supremacy invaded Africa, did you know that those tribes would have war and nobody would die? Many of them.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, Dave.
There you go. That makes my point.
Dave, I'm not surprised.
I'm just saying, that just makes my point. So, anyway, 855-525-5683 is the number.
Don't call if you ain't got faith.
But if you got $20 you can let me have, you can call me. Call me up.
Call and break bread.
You know, like,
don't believe. Don't make the phone call.
like those people over the weekend, have you been getting those Cash App things?
Yeah.
Get a blessing with Cash App.
Yeah. I got your blessing.
Did you try it?
No.
You didn't?
Bless me.
What if you would have
Bless
gotten,
me.
what if they would have blessed you?
Send me a couple $100.
That's what they were doing. One person got $300, so they say.
Yeah, whatever. Man, they be full.
Y'all are a bunch of suckers.
All day, every day.
I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm laughing at them folks on Facebook. Do y'all not do research? Here's the other thing that's flaming out on Facebook. Malik Yoba, and I'm sitting there saying, really? So
If this dude one more time, I don't know what. I didn't even read the article. I refused to.
That's what I'm saying. I read the title. So I read the title of the article. It was pretty obvious what the article was about. So come on, I don't need to read the damn article. But what irritated me, that there was like 30,000 Ks in responses on this stupidity. And I'm saying to myself, damn, if y'all were that active at the polls, we'd be in damn good shape right now. You all get caught up in some of the dumbest and stupidest, and yes, I said stupidest, stuff I've ever seen. It just boggles my mind. No wonder we're in the condition that we're in. You write a political post, you get one like. But here is Malik Yoba talking about his sex life, and everybody like, whoa, or, oh, you know, I got to watch Power tonight. I can't miss Power.
He gonna hit some transgenders.
Did you watch the news? Can you tell me what happened in the news last night?
No, that's not important. What's important is Malik. He like trainings.
Oh boy,
You know what I'm waiting
Dave
for.
Chappelle,
Let me tell you what I'm waiting for.
Dave Chappelle had me dying.
Let me tell you what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for white folks to start saying they black. That's what I'm waiting for.
It's getting close.
That's what I'm waiting for. When that happens, I'm done.
But you know what? It's funny you say that, because there is a guy who is, and I think they finally caught him. He's white, and he claimed that he was black and was actually receiving civil rights, some type of benefits based on civil rights. So it's coming, dude. It's
Check
coming.
this out, man.
Look, they're taking everything. They're taking your music. They're taking your women. They're taking all your stuff, man.
Somebody said he likes men with breasts and penises. That's fascinating to people.
Why? Why?
I don't know. I've never been into penises.
Why is that fascinating? There's nothing fascinating about that. Are you serious? Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe you're just homophobic, Robert. Yeah, that's it. I'm just saying. 855-525-5683 is the number. That's how you get in touch with us. It's crazy, folks.
Yeah.
It really is.
Penis power.
You all just need to refocus your energy.
Yeah,
we
chicks
need
with chicks. Yeah, chicks with them. Yeah.
We need you all to forget about this dumb stuff and get your butts to the polls,
I will
folks.
say this, Dave, because I'm gonna reply to these. I'm gonna reply to all these texts at once.
Mm-hmm.
I do like breasts, but I like breasts with vaginas. I don't like breasts with hot dogs.
Okay, we really didn't need to know this, Robert. We kind of already knew that.
Thanks, Dave.
But I'm glad you clarified.
I just need to make sure I understand. I have nothing to do with any of that.
Well, that's not right. You're homophobic.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Sick nasty.
Who posted that? See, you got some sick friends.
Oh, gee whiz.
Oh,
Today's a good day, man. That was a good one right there. Oh,
who posted that?
Oh my goodness.
Y'all are terrible. I'm ashamed of you for Robert for posting that.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
You see that right there? That's a good one. That's a good one. All right,
That's
then.
just crazy.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
By the way, Julius Malama has maintained his stance that the anger towards small business owners who are foreign nationals is misdirected. He says that white people created this mess.
It's white people's fault. Everything. White people did everything. Black folk, what have we done?
Allow them to do something to us.
Nothing. We ain't fought back one time.
No, not at all. Why should we?
Lay down, black woman. Lay down, black man. Ain't no need in fighting this fight.
Why should we?
Ain't no need in fighting a good fight. Ain't no need.
Yeah, just let them run over you. You'll be okay. You know, you'll hang around for a few hundred more years being subservient.
Slaves only make more slaves.
Well, I guess you're right about that, Robert. Guess we need to get out of here with time. It was 2 hours that went fast today.
Didn't it? Okay, what is it, 158?
Yep.
Hey, y'all. I've enjoyed today. I want to tell y'all, thank y'all for
Yeah,
tuning
you've
in.
really been weird today.
I'm just saying, brother. Spend money in your own community, because if you don't, nobody else will. Chunking you to deuces.
We are a people of African descent, speaking Spanish, Portuguese, English, and French. We are black peoples of the Americas, African diaspora, over 200 million strong, one black mighty people, and we matter. Our voices and voices of our ancestors will be heard by the world. Y'all have a great day. Oh, I called a Thursday. Called a Friday.